So many people are put off of VR because of motion sickness, but there are a lot of simple tips that will help you play for longer without the nauseating side effects. The first thing to do is to look at the comfort rating of the games you want to play. With the Quest 2, this is easy as they are rated from comfortable to moderate and then intense. And if you're using the PSVR 2, you can still use the Quest 2's comfort rating if you're playing the same game, as the level of motion sickness on the same game on different platforms will be very similar. If you can't find a specific motion sickness rating, then just read reviews on the games and avoid games with lots of motion. Playing seated at first is also a really good way to get used to the VR experience, and it helps your brain to adjust. Limit your session times. The key here isn't to just carry on playing until you feel sick, it's to play for 20 minutes, stop, have a short break, and then carry on playing, and this will help build up your VR legs. And when you're on that break, have a mint tea or a ginger tea. Both of these herbs have been proven to help with nausea. And also, whilst you're playing, you can also chew a mint gum or ginger chews. Generally, just stay hydrated. It's important to drink plenty of water before and during playing VR, and this will help reduce the chances of you experiencing motion sickness. Use a fan. You can use a large fan directed towards you, or you can use these neck fans. The benefit of a large fan is that it helps you to stay in the center of your play area. You can quickly reorientate yourself by turning back towards the fan. You can also use these travel bands, and these push on a pressure point on your wrist known as the naguan, and this helps to prevent nausea. And if you don't have one of these travel bands, you can simply use your fingers to massage that pressure point, and it's located here 3 finger whips below the base of your hand. And of course, this is a good place to mention that I'm not offering any medical advice in this video, so please read the disclaimer below before you use any of these tips. In terms of setting up your VR headset, make sure that you check and adjust your IPD every time you play. In simple terms, your IPD is the distance between your eyes, and if you don't match that with your headset lenses, then this will cause eye strain. On the Quest 2, the IPD fixes in place, but with the PSVR 2, it's very easy to knock the IP adjustment wheel, so double check it to avoid having eye strain. If your eyes are straining, then your eye muscles are straining, and then this affects the part of the brain that deals with all that visual stuff. And in turn, this can increase any motion sickness that you're experiencing. With most headsets, another setting that you can change to avoid eye strain is the brightness. So experiment with this and turn it down by 10% increments until your eyes feel more comfortable. There are some game settings that you can use to reduce motion sickness as well, and it's well worth exploring the menu on the games that you play before you start to play them to see if there are any comfort settings that you can adjust. These will include things like snap turning instead of using smooth turn, and also sometimes you can increase the vignette. This adds a vignette as you move, which reduces your field of view and reduces the effect of motion. And also in some games you can select the teleport option, and this enables you to point and move to a certain spot in front of you without actually having to go through the experiences of the motion of moving. You get used to this quite quickly, and in one of my favourite games, In Death Unchained, you move around using the teleport mode by firing arrows to get to your next position. With the Quest Pro, I found that motion sickness was dramatically decreased by using these partial light blockers, and I think it's because your brain can visually stay partially connected to the real world, and this means that your brain and your senses don't get so confused and fatigued trying to figure out what's going on. And I even modified my spare Quest 2 interface I had, and I cut it to give me the same partial light blocking effects as the Quest Pro. For more VR tips, you can watch these videos next. Share your tips in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.